Hi, welcome to another lesson for strumming the ukulele. Today's lesson is going to be on example number 2, blues strum. So at this point you want to go ahead and tune your ukulele, grab your music sheet that says example number 2, blues strum. We're going to be doing the song Sweet Home Chicago, and then go ahead and pause the tutorial and we'll get started in a second. Okay, so you got your music sheet. Want to just remind you that this basic blues progression follows the same format as the previous example number 1, the blues song that we played in that example, which was a slower blues song. So keep in mind that there was more chords, the same chords really, just that it was a slower version. Now, keep in mind that if you want to do the same chord changes as in the first example, it's perfectly fine, sounds just as good, just depending on your style. However, since this is a medium shuffle, a little faster song, you don't have to do as many chord changes, but it's really up to you. Okay. Now make sure that you can play all the chords on your music sheet before you play this example with me at this point. Make sure that you're smooth on it. Also keep in mind that if you found this lesson a little difficult, you want to go back to your original blues lesson that breaks down the blues strumming. Get that down first, the understanding of that first, and then come on back to these lesson examples for learning to play the blues strum. At the end of the section of music, it says repeat. So we're going to be doing that section of music 2 times. Keep in mind that this is only the chorus for the song Sweet Home Chicago. Okay, I'm going to be doing 2 examples. The first one would be just straight ahead, nothing fancy, just basically chords and strumming. The number 2 example will be a little bit more fancier, and then maybe it might be interesting to you, then something you want to try. Now, the count for the song will go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, well come on. Okay, so that's the basic count, okay? Here we go, here's the first example. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, well come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Well come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, Sweet Home Chicago? Well come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, Sweet Home Chicago? Okay, for this next example, oh by the way, I'm using the finger brace strum. You do need to refer to that section and that lesson of the course tutorial to get more information if you want to refresh your memory, or letting you know that that's a particular strum that I'm using for the right hand technique. Also keep in mind it's your responsibility to cover the sections on right hand technique and left hand technique that coincide with all the strumming lessons. Okay, we don't cover everything in every strumming lesson because it will take just too much time. Okay. The next example, we're going to be doing the same thing. Basically, except I'm going to be doing some left hand technique, which is basically just chord on, off. Okay, on, off. And once again, you have to refer to the left hand technique tutorial section of the course for that lesson, so it breaks it down so you can understand more about it and when and how and why you're using that particular technique. Once again, it's the on, off technique for the left hand. Here we go. Same count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go to that same old place, Sweet Home Chicago? Well, come on, baby, don't you wanna go Okay, so that was example number 2, using some left hand technique for that. Now, I do want to remind you that if you found this example lesson a little difficult, you please go back to the original blues strumming lesson that breaks down the lessons, breaks down the blues strumming technique for you, so you can have a better understanding about doing your blues strum. And you do need to understand the concept before moving on to this lesson. Okay. All right. So when you're ready, I guess we'll see you for the upcoming lesson that's coming up next.